Hey folks, welcome back to my vlog. Today's vlog will be a continuing from my main vlog where I left off on my second vlog where I'm telling my story of how I ended up coming to the hospital and how I got here. That's where I left off in number 2. So this will be the main vlog number 3, I guess. Continuing with that story of when I was at the hospital and when I first arrived, and how it was a big whole big rush and hustle and bustle of everyone trying to figure out, what to do with me and stuff like that. First of all, before I get into that, just want to wish, hopefully everybody had a good holiday season and Christmas and all that stuff. And we're coming up on the New Year very soon. It is December the 30th today. Before I get into my story, I just want to do a little quick update. I've been on the taking these steroid medications for my low platelet count I've been having in my blood, which is causing very bad water retention and puffiness. As you could probably see in my face. My face is very big and puffy. If you were to go back to say 3 weeks ago to my my second main vlog video, you could see my face is totally slimmer and smaller, and so yeah, it's that's one little problem that I've been dealing with. But they're weaning me down from that medication, and hopefully everything, all the puffiness and swelling will go down. And yeah, it is affecting the weight loss as well. I'm not gaining weight. I'm keeping a steady pace, unfortunately. But at least I'm not gaining, right? Anyway, so without any further ado, I'm going to jump right back into and start vlog number 3. I know I had other vlogs along the way, with the blooper reels and a couple other, my janitor video, my dinner tray lady video, and a couple of visitor videos. Those are the side videos that I mentioned that I will be making along with my main vlog videos, where I explain my story and continuing my story to catch you up and stuff like that. Yeah, so getting back to where I left off in number 2. I got to the hospital and everybody was all like, okay, what to do with this guy, where to go. So we got there. I pulled up into the hospital with the EMS and firefighters around, I'd say around 11 o'clock in the morning. Basically, I spent a couple of hours tightly wrapped up in this fireman blanket on my stomach side. However, they got me onto the stretcher, just sitting there in the emergency hallway before they could figure out, where they gonna put me, what to do with me, who got me here, who's the doctor that arranged for me, told me to come here. By the time they contacted them and I guess figured stuff out, I still don't know the full story from a year ago what all happened. But so they finally got me into to an emergency room, I guess they call it. It's like they have these little private little stalls, rooms with a window blocking off the from the hallway, I guess. And I spent from pretty much maybe around 1 o'clock in the afternoon in there till almost 9:30, 10 o'clock at night in there, just wrapped up in that burrito cocoon thingy until they found me a room, finally, to get me into a room upstairs. Yeah, and in that meantime, while I laid in that room for 10 hours, wrapped up in that stinky, dirty fireman blanket, couldn't move, strapped up in a tight seatbelt that didn't. I don't know, it seemed like every single doctor, physician, or whoever was in this hospital in those 10 hours stopped by to look at me and see me and ask me questions, and seemed to have been the same questions over and over. Who told you to come here? Why you're here? Testing, all kinds of stuff, over to the point where it got really, really annoying. Like, okay, I just had 7 other doctors come in here in the last couple hours, asking me the same thing. And maybe everyone just, it's great. I mean, I'm not, it's great that everybody wanted to know. They're obviously they were caring for me about my well-being. Everybody wanted to make sure that I was okay. Make sure everybody was, I guess we're trying to collab to make sure I was getting the right treatment, or I was gonna get the right care. So it was great, but yeah, it got overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, but I know it was for the better, and it was for the good. And still to this day, some of the doctors I remember that day that were down there checking on me, they have come and seen me since, and I do remember some of those doctors. And well, I will never ever forget, obviously, any of these people that helped me and done stuff for me. But yeah, so did a lot of tests down in emergency. They're always checking, make sure my blood sugars were good, and giving me whatever pain medications and stuff I needed for, because I was in a lot of pain with my back and some other things. And yeah, so like I said, I was down there until good to 9:30, 10 o'clock. Till they finally found me a room. They had to order a bed off-site, to rent a bed from an off-site company that would accommodate me, because their hospital beds would not, they didn't have anything to hold somebody my size. And they kept asking me how much you weigh, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, maybe 700 pounds, maybe 800 pounds, like maximum 750. I had no idea. So they ended up getting me a bed that was good to 1,000 pounds. It's a good thing, because I almost maxed it out. And by the time the bed finally showed up, which I guess that was the delay of them getting me up into a room, was waiting for the bed to come from some company that they rented it from. It's for the bed to show up, and then to get me to a room. So it wasn't really delayed with not knowing what to do with me or where to put me, because they had all of that figured out. It's just the bed that we were waiting on to show up. So the rental bed showed up, and as soon as that happened, within half an hour I was on it, and finally being comfort of getting off that stretcher and them taking the seat belts off of me. So yeah, as they finally got the seat belt disconnected from me while I was strapped to that stretcher. And just after so many hours of being squeezed together like a cocoon, like a burrito, in that stinky, nasty fireman blanket, it was finally a big relief to finally get onto that big rental bed that they got for me, and relax and finally get taken by the porters, as they're called, the transporters. They call them porters, to bring me up, finally up into my room. And it was an interesting evening, that's for sure, because it was a really stressful day. That day, and the day leading up to it, knowing what's going to happen to me, where I'm going to end up, how everything's going to be handled. So yeah, finally got up to my room. I was able to relax. My family was able to relax a little bit. Finally was able to get cleaned up after being all getting stinky in that blanket I was wrapped up into, that smoky fireman blanket I've been keep talking about, and cooking in my own sweat under there. So anyway, that night finally settled in, and started looking back at what I just went through. And I didn't sleep that night, I tell you. Absolutely no sleep that night. I just could not believe I finally was in the hospital. I finally did this. I finally, a year, probably 2 years too late, of making this move for myself, of getting help. Yeah, I just could not believe that I was in the hospital finally, and I actually did something about it. So anyway, throughout that night, of course, all the nurses, had to come in and do my, vital checks and check me in and do their normal routine of whatever they have to do to a new patient that arrives on their floor. I ended up coming up to a surgical floor. I guess because I was full of all kinds of wounds and stuff with the for my lymphedema, that tumor growth thingy, where I was full of all kinds of open wounds and sores that I've talked about already, and I will talk about more. And so I guess that's what brought me to a surgical floor, because there's a lot of wound stuff that had to be taken care of, and just assess me. I guess it was the best place for them to put me. I'm glad they did put me on the floor that they did, because I ended up with amazing staff on this floor. But anyway, that's another video to talk about. So then, as much as I remember, that night, I remember, dealing with 5, 6, maybe even 7 nurses that evening. If they had to move me in certain ways that 1 or 2 nurses just wouldn't do. So I got sun in my eyes, or I remember a few of those nurses that night that were in there. Everyone just I'm sure they were puzzled and baffled by what they were seeing and what they were dealing with, but at the same time, everybody was absolutely top-notch professional. Made me feel super welcomed, super friendly to me, which I was not expecting. And the shout out goes to every single nurse and doctor that signed me in that day and just treated me and talked to me and reassured me with everything. Other than that, eventually everything dwindled down that night. They did all their vital checks on me, and everything was was good right from the start. And they said go get some sleep and stuff. My mom and parents stuck around for a little bit to to be with me, and eventually they left. It was a really hard goodbye, that's for sure. And it wasn't easy saying goodbye to them, of course, but it was for the good, obviously, I know. And got 0 sleep tonight. I was already, the night before I got no sleep because I was worried, knowing that I'm possibly coming to the hospital, and got no sleep the night before. And of course that night in the hospital I got no sleep here. Just too many things going on in my head. Obviously I couldn't sleep. Next day was a very busy day. You could imagine how many doctors came through to see me, and I mean non-stop, in and out. But it was obviously for my good and my health and my own concern. And that was it, pretty much, for my hospital check-in. I guess I'm gonna leave off right there for now, for vlog number 3, for the main vlog. This will be continued in vlog number 4. I'm not sure exactly what I will be talking about just yet to continue this, but there's still plenty more to talk about, that's for sure. First weigh in, first meetings with everybody, my social worker, my dietitians, my physiotherapist. There'll be a lot of introductions to you all still in my coming videos. So anyway, vlog number 3, I'm gonna end it right here. I think I hear my nurse coming in for the night. I will definitely continue this very, very shortly. Look forward to other videos to come. Like I said, I promise 1 to 2 videos a week. I'll try to keep it at that for now. But anyway, remember, folks, no matter what, keep your head up. Keep on swimming, folks.